Caring for your collections, from the Icon Care of Collections group. Whilst it's essential to be looking after your buildings, it's also important to consider what is happening on the inside. Keeping damp and moisture out will ensure that you're protecting your belongings from issues such as mold, structural changes, or water damage. Following are some top tips covering how you can care for your treasures and detailed information about caring for specific objects and materials. You don't have to deal with everything at once, as that can be too overwhelming, but consider completing a review during National Maintenance Week so you can know what you need to do over the next few months.
Caring for hanging textiles. Textiles and dyes are easily damaged by light, so try to avoid displaying them in bright, artificial or sunlight. Avoid hanging textiles on an outside wall, as this may cause them to become damp or mouldy. Insects often attack wool or silk curtains, especially in the folds, so try to vacuum these areas at least once a month. And display your hanging textiles as far away from people as you possibly can, as dust and soot from people can become embedded in the fibres. Displaying hanging textiles. To hang flat textiles, avoid stress damage by evenly supporting the entire width of the top using hook and loop Velcro tape. For curtains, place hooks or rings close to each other. Storage. Store small textiles in acid-free boxes. Padding out any creases or folds in the textiles with scrunched up acid-free tissue. Try not to pack the boxes too tightly. Larger objects should be rolled on acid-free tubes with the decoration or pile of the textile facing outwards and interlaying with tissue paper. When rolled, cover with a clean cotton dust sheet tied at each end, and if possible, suspend the roll from a dowel on wall brackets. Cleaning instructions. A lot of damage can be caused by inappropriate washing, dry cleaning or vacuuming of historic textiles. Always ask a textile conservator for advice, especially if textiles are very old and delicate. If the textile is in a strong condition, vacuum both sides at least once a year. It may be easier to take down a hanging textile and place it flat on a dust sheet for vacuuming. Use a vacuum cleaner with a suction set to low, and use a crevice head or flat upholstery hook tool covered with nylon net attached at one end. Hold the nozzle just above the textile surface rather than rubbing onto the surface. Caring for your upholstery. With use, fabric structures wear down unevenly. Stuffing, springs and webbing can give way, leaving the upholstery distorted. If using older furniture, use gently to prevent wear and tear. Cleaning. Vacuum occasionally using a clean, smooth vacuum attachment rather than a brush, as a brush may damage fragile textile fibres. Cover the nozzle with a net and avoid vacuuming up any small pieces that you may wish to reattach later. And remember to clean down the back, sides and underneath sofa and chair cushions to remove any insects that might be hiding away. If it doesn't cause damage, place a hand under the seat and press lightly with a vacuum head to vacuum. Basic repairs. Sewing up any loose braids or fringes before they have had a chance to unravel, fall off or become lost. Don't be tempted to use adhesives as a quick fix, as this may discolour or become brittle and then cause damage to the surrounding area. Protect and survive. Cover the arms and backs of fragile upholstery with similar weighted fabric to protect from handling marks and wear and tear. And if you're going away for an extended period of time, you could cover the whole item with a cotton sheet to protect it from light or dust. Try to place your upholstered item away from sunlight, direct heat or damp corners, and check your object regularly for any signs of insect attack or damage. Caring for your carpets. Avoid placing an antique or silk carpet where it can be walked on frequently or in a very light-filled area. Where practical, close curtains or blinds in the room when it's not being used. A good quality underlay can protect a carpet from some wear, and this can be essential when a floor is uneven. A rug on top of a fixed carpet will often move or ruck up, presenting a potential safety hazard. To avoid this rucking up, you can sew a patch of canvas onto the lower carpet just smaller than the rug. When at home, it might be easier to place some polyester wadding under the top carpet and then replace this every year. Do not hang or beat an antique carpet, as it puts a lot of strain on the threads and can cause them to break. A carpet that has a lot of loose threads or is in very poor condition, please use a net over the end of the vacuum nozzle or vacuum through a net screen. Storage. If an antique carpet has to be moved or stored, it should be rolled around a tube with the pile side outermost rather than folded. The larger the carpet, the bigger the diameter of the tube. Always roll in the pile direction. This should feel the smoothest. Cleaning and washing instructions. Too much cleaning will wear out a carpet. Use a suction vacuum cleaner rather than one with rotating brushes, and always try to set on the lowest suction strength. Lift and drag the vacuum over the carpet, avoiding wearing back and forth actions. It helps occasionally to turn a small carpet over and pat the back with the flat of your hand to loosen any grit before vacuuming. Do not use steam cleaners or commercial carpet cleaners or cleaning material on antique carpets. If you feel that your carpet really needs a wash, contact a textile conservator for advice. Caring for your clothes. Make sure your precious items of clothing are cleaned before it is put away for storage. Moths and carpet beetle can be drawn to any bodily fluids or any food stains that might be remaining. Be aware that antique clothing can be ruined by inappropriate cleaning, so if unsure, seek advice from a textile conservator. Lace, linens and cottons can take on a patina over time, making them more ivory toned. Washing doesn't necessarily return clothes to their current expectations of bright white. Store clothes flat in acid-free boxes and enjoy them as they are. To best view lace, use a tray or a box, as lace can become brittle over time. Storage. Hanging clothes can put strain on seams and fibres, so it's safer to store delicate items flat and carefully folded in roomy acid-free boxes, well padded with acid-free tissue. Fold clothing carefully, using lengths of scrunched tissue paper to pad out any folds. Heavy items may have to be hung, so make sure that the hanger supports the full width of the shoulders, but it's not too wide. A hanger should be padded with polyester wadding covered with washed cotton. Make covers for hanging items out of washed sheeting or use cotton tapes to tie them closed. Keeping insects away. Keeping cupboards clean and dry to help reduce the risk of insect attack and mould is very important. These can leave holes or permanent stains in your clothes. Allow air to circulate and inspect clothes regularly, especially during the spring months through to early autumn. Freezing will kill most bugs, but textile needs to be strong and undecorated to be frozen safely. Gently fold or roll an infested garment with padding, seal in a sturdy plastic bag and place in your freezer for a couple of weeks. Make sure that you bring any frozen garments up to room temperature before unsealing the bag to avoid any condensation.
Here are our top 11 tips for caring for your treasures. 1. Regular inspection and careful cleaning is the best way to prevent damage like stains, mold, corrosion, and insects. 2. Protect your valuables from light, which can cause fading and fabric weakness. 3. Place your objects in a place that is neither too dry nor too damp, or the items may crack and suffer from mold. 4. If you can, avoid areas where you might get fluctuations in temperature or relative humidity, such as near a door or a radiator, or in spaces like the attic or a basement, as this could cause your object to expand and contract, causing structural damage to things like paintings, wood, leather, and textiles. 5. Regularly check for pests like moths, carpet beetles, and mice. When you're vacuuming is a good time to be vigilant. It's good to see pest evidence early and deal with small problems immediately, as it's key to preventing an infestation. 6. Dust is an enemy. Try to protect objects from dust where practical. And remember, Repeated dusting can damage fragile materials, even with a careful hand. 7. Avoid acidic fumes from sources like traffic exhaust, everyday cardboard boxes, wood, and rubber-backed materials, which can rot, embrittle, and stain nearby materials. 8. Cover the arms and backs of valuable upholstery with similar-looking fabric to protect from handling and user wear. If you're going to be away for an extended period, cover the entire upholstered area in a cotton sheet to protect from dust and light. 9. Resist the temptation to handle objects too much. It leaves marks and you can run the risk of accidental damage. 10. Lifting heavy objects is one of the most common ways to cause damage to an item or yourself. Always work in pairs. 11. Leave the repair of valuable objects to specialists, as even basic-looking techniques are trickier than they might seem. Remember, safety is first. It's essential to work in a well-lit, well-ventilated room, particularly when using solvent-based products. Use only minimum amount of chemicals that you need, and use it from a small lidded container. Wear protective gloves and wash your hands when finished. Be sure not to touch your face or your mouth. Put used clothes outside to allow any solvent to evaporate before storing or discarding, as they can combust. Store materials in sealed containers, including cloths with wax on them. Keep materials away from heat and light. And remember, don't rush in. Before you start any cleaning work, take a good look at your object very carefully. Avoid cleaning in areas if you see any loose surface decoration, weak joints, frayed areas, old repairs, or cracked surfaces. It might be better to ask a conservator to have a look at the item for you. Some of our tools of the trade tips. First, clean as you go. Clean brushes immediately after use and reshape bristles while drying. Replace discolored polishing and dusting cloths. Keep product containers clean to avoid contamination. Be sure to organize your materials before you start. Label everything to avoid cross-contamination, especially of metal polishes. Keep dusting cloths clean in labeled sealable bags, and store brushes with bristles upright to keep their shape. Think about investing in the best. High-quality brushes with natural bristles can last for years, and while natural bristle brushes are more expensive, they can be more efficient, and so might be worth the investment. Take care with chemicals. Some of the substances you might use when caring for your objects are potentially hazardous. And please exercise great care. Keep all of your materials secure and safely out of reach of children and animals. And a few common materials that we use include abrasive paste for cleaning some hard surfaces. Choose paste without ammonia and with the finest evenly graded abrasive, for example, Prelim or Solvol Autosol that you can buy from motor accessory stores. Use acid-free or archival quality tissue paper, card, and boxes, from which you can buy from department stores or art supply shops. When using alcohol, such as isopropanol or propantuol, it's very effective at removing some types of dirt. Methylated spirit is not recommended, and you can buy these products from pharmacies. Now brushes. A pony or a goat hair brush will remove dust from delicate surfaces such as silver, gilding, and lacquer. Hog's hair is better for more robust surfaces like ceramics, carved wood, and copper alloy. Chemical sponges are used dry, and this picks up and absorbs or removes dirt by rubbing. You can buy these products from jewelry or silverware stores. Corrosion-inhibiting bags or rolls will protect polished copper and silver from tarnishing. Cotton cloth is used for silver, while Intercept, a treated polythene, is used for a wide range of metals. Cotton buds of wool can be useful. Use any of the commercial varieties, but be sure that they are 100% cotton. Cotton or linen tape is especially good for tying up books. Unbleached and undyed tape is used to secure objects, and you can buy this from haberdashery departments. And finally, detergent. Be sure to use conservation grade. This must be free of color, perfume, optical brighteners, enzymes, and bleach, and it should have a neutral pH at about pH 7. You can use liquid detergent for delicate silk and wool fabrics, which you can buy in a supermarket, as long as it's free of the previously listed ingredients.